Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? You bloody better be good because it's Friday. TGIF, am I right? June 7, and the NBA Finals are finally, after a week of waiting, here. That's right. I'm your host, James Clement. You can also see me on the AFL Today Show, the official AFL Supercoach podcast, as well as Fox Sports Lab NBA, aka all the good stuff. And this is episode 1111 of NBA Straya. That's right, 1111. Pretty fun. I'm going to go celebrate with some tins tonight. Should be bloody good. What we will also be talking about today, beyond, 1111, is game one of the NBA Finals. How good was that? Boston, blowout. Absolutely beat the piss out of the Dallas Mavericks because of one giant Latvian supercharged zinger burger.
Supercharged zinger burger.
So that's fun. We're going to talk about all this. We'll break it all down in the NBA Straya game wrap as Porzingis goes off. Jaylen Brown does good stuff. The Aussies, a bit of a rough one. We've got That's Not an iPhone, Mate. No, Mate. Spud of the Night. Better than Lonzo Ball. We've got Dickhead of the Week. We've got Magic Tweet of the Day. Hooray. Probably my favorite. And because this is the NBA Finals, we've got some Finals yeah-nahs. We've got the Unpopular Opinion of the Day. We've got Outback Takehouse. But we also do an Andrew Gay's Grey Mamba Award out for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence, as well as a Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award, as well as a great moment in NBA Straya stat history. How good is that? The answer is very. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And we'll finish off with a game preview because game 2 is on Monday morning. And so this will be the game preview episode for that one as well on Monday, which should be a cracker. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1111 of NBA Straya. That's right, 1111. Let's go!
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze, and you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
You better. Better watch out for the extreme zinger meal attack, I'll tell you.
Extreme zinger meal.
If you're the Dallas Mavericks, jeez. Hey, also, you better watch out for the trolling of Shaq. He had Dirk on his show. He's like, Dirk, I want you to talk to me about how Luka play in our time. In our time. It's like, yes, Shaq, we get it that you're trying to rag on Luka and say that, yes, the guys that you played with and against were better than today's players. Whoa, what a giant surprise. A former player saying that their era was better than everybody else. Dirk was having none of it. He's like, Shaq, you see, it's nothing like that. It's like his step back is great. It's fucking bad, but he'd be awesome. Don't worry, he's massive. He's 6'8", that shoots for a guard. And Shaq didn't say a fucking word. It was good to see Dirk just go, shut up, idiot. Love that. Love Dirk. All the Dirk content in the world with Dallas back in the finals, that might be the biggest upside of this entire thing. Hey, also, let's get into some news because, I don't know, there was a little bit going off today, wasn't there? So let's start with the daily whip around. Oh, is it a whip crack, Jim? Is it a whip around? Yes. That's how we start every show here at NBA Straya. Danny Hurley to the Lakers? What? I love it. Absolutely love it because there's nothing funnier than when the Lakers stink.
The Lakers stink!
And when they freak out, it's like, we're hiring JJ Redick. And everyone goes, you're being run by LeBron. And they go, oh, no, wait. Danny Hurley. You mean the guy who's just gone back-to-back with NCAA titles as a college coach. That's pretty good. So Woj put out a story basically just nailing Shams to a wall and going, hey, remember how you're basically just an agent spokesman? You're not a journalist, are you, Shams? You're an agent spokesman. You're a spokesman for all of your sources and all your contacts. You're floating out JJ Redick there basically to grease the wheels. I'll get to this later in Outback Takehouse. And then, meanwhile, Woj is actually out there doing actual journalism, and considering he wrote like a bio on the Hurley's dad, Makes a little bit of sense. So he drops the Woj bomb. The Lakers are targeting Connecticut's Dan Hurley to become the franchise's next coach, and preparing a massive long-term contract offer to bring the back-to-back national champion to the NBA. Coaching's always been an ambition of Dan Hurley. He's literally, at this point, the most sought-after coach in all of basketball. They're determined to bring him to LA. Remember how the other day Shams was like, they're infatuated with JJ Redick, and Woj is like, shut up, nerd. They're not. Dan Hurley even met with his players at UConn, was like, hey guys, look, I'm going to go travel over with my agent, go hang out with the Lakers. Just saying, this is real. It's all happening. It's business for usual at the moment. I'm going to sort all that out. My favorite part is how the Lakers are then just going like, oh, no. Like, we think we've got the 17th pick in this draft, man. We've got Austin Reeves. We've got Rui Hachimura. We've got Max Christie. We've got a great young core. What? Anthony Davis is apparently going to be a significant part of the conversation on the next head coach, and apparently LeBron hasn't been consulted about JJ or Dan Hurley. That'll probably go over well. Won't it? Pause. Anyway, I think it's an interesting one because it says a lot about the state of college sports. We'll get into the finals game wrap, but basically, this is the Lakers head coaching search thing. The college system is just well and truly broken if this is like a two-time championship coach who just goes, this NIL shit sucks, and I hate it, and it's a lot of work. Fuck that. I'm going to the Lakers. At the same time, it's the Lakers! Of course you're going to go take that job, even if it is coaching like LeBron for a year, which I'll get to later as well. But pretty fun. I mean, he just basically gets to have a crack. Depends on how long this long-term contract offer would be. It's pretty funny, but either way, it's a massive market. It's the most famous team in the NBA. You got the biggest name on at the moment. Dan Hurley. Go hammer and tongs, mate. We'll talk about JJ later. Also, Mike Bloomberg is apparently agreeing to join the Mark Lore, Alex Rodriguez group that's buying the Wolves / the Lynx. So that's pretty interesting because Bloomberg, considering that Lore and A-Rod were basically like, oh, no more cash here, chop. No cash here, chop. And Glenn Taylor's like, where's the fucking cash, boys? And they're like, no cash here, chop. And he's like, you're fucked, mate. Piss off. So Bloomberg swings in and jumps in and like helps him out. We might see that happen. Like we would have had two really interesting like ownership setups, regardless of like who made it through the Western Conference Finals, right? Because Dallas, obviously, they sold from Cuban to that weird family of casino owners, and you saw that at the end of Western Conference Finals when they're like holding up the trophy. Cuban's nowhere to be found, and you're like, this is weird. And then the Wolves, it would have been hilarious if they had won through because it's like Lore and A-Rod are like, hey, we should own most of this by now. And Glenn Taylor's like, I'm still here. Weird, gross old dude. Anyway, that's enough talk. Let's talk NBA Finals. That's right, because it is an NBA Straya game wrap. Game wrap! Let's go of Game 1, Dallas-Boston. Dallas 89, Boston 107. So this was a bit of a blowout, wasn't it? Oh, geez, man. They start the Extreme Zinger Meal on the bench.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
They announced that decision. You're like, that seems smart. It's probably the easiest and smartest way to ease him into a playoff series, considering he hasn't played for like over a month. And Horford's been really good. Horford's also had a week and a half off, just chilling out, being cool. And it starts off with a Horford dunk, which is pretty funny. And they had a few early role player buckets. You basically had Derek Jones Jr. hitting a three, the only three that he hit all game. Gafford, PJ, Luka getting in there as well. The ball movement very early on for the Celtics was very, very nice. You saw Jaylen Brown being the first one to go to Luka to guard him. But there was a lot of switching going on because Luka's calling up picks and stuff like this to basically get someone like Giroux on him. And at times it was kind of working. Luka was kind of getting what he wanted, but the biggest problem, and this turned into the biggest problem for the entire game, was Dallas trying to figure out, oh shit, everybody on this team can shoot. We thought we'd be okay with this. It turns out we're not. Oh God, the ball movement for the Celtics just got even better and better and better. You had all this miscommunication on defense for the Dallas Mavericks very, very early on in the first quarter. You're leaving open threes because they're playing 5 out. I think the Celtics started like 2 of 8 from downtown. And Dallas like, all right, this is okay. And then boom, it's 4 of 10 for the Celtics. They're up 6. Zinger comes on, and he was supercharged.
Supercharged Zinger Burger.
Yes, he was. Luka had 7 quick points. It's 24-18. 4 turnovers for the Celtics at this point as well, looking a little bit sloppy. Both benches in early, and then Zinger just goes fucking hammer and tongs. He's like, this is going to be fun. It really is.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun on the bun.
He's like, you know who I fucking love cooking? That little prick Luka. I went to the Mavs. I was going to be the man, and he was already the man, and I got angry. And fuck him. So now I'm on Boston. I'm going to cook him. He had 8 quick points out of nowhere. It's 28-18 Celtics. He was cooking in the minutes against Lively. That's a huge win for the Celtics as well, right? If they can basically go, whoever our big man coming off the bench is going to be going ahead in the series, whether Horford eventually moves there and Zinger starts just to goose that offense even more, or if they just keep wanting to goose that bench and go, hey, Zinger, just go at the rookie. That's huge. But the biggest moment in this was like, Tatum hits a shot. It's a big 3. It's 31-20. Zinger just hits a massive 3. Blocks the shit out of Josh Green. What a start from the Zinger. He has 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks in the first quarter. And like, geez, was that the best first quarter of an NBA Finals Game 1 we've ever seen? It's like he came off the bench. He did it in like fuck all minutes. It was absolutely incredible from the Extreme Zinger Mill. They had a 17-point lead. And you're like, oh, God, this is going to be an absolute smashing. And then it got worse for Dallas. It was a 17-point lead after the first quarter. It was 37-20. They were absolutely flying with the Celtics. But the biggest thing was that they obviously were moving the ball a lot. They were getting really good looks. And that was the biggest thing for the Zinger. Dallas have just played Karl Anthony Towns. They're not, unused to a big man going out to shoot a 3. They did the same thing against Chet Holmgren. But at the same point, there was always usually Rudy Gobert on the floor at some point as well. Or Dort, or basically Josh Giddey, somebody who wasn't shooting. And Dallas didn't quite adapt quick enough. And it was very, very quickly a smashing. The Celtics are 8 of 18 from 3 very quickly. It's 42-24. Brown just cuts through, crosses over Luka, dunks on all the Mavs. Kyrie was just in absolute struggle down early. He was 3 of 9. Zinger was absolutely still smoking. You had White and Brown hitting shots. Tatum finally gets a 3 to go. They get up 29 points to the Celtics. At home, the Garden is going absolutely fucking off its rocker. They were 10 of 24 from downtown, the Celtics. So that's pretty good. I'm no math magician, but that's bloody good. 2 of 12 were the Mavs at that point. Yeah, PJ Hamilton missing free throws. Luka hit a fadeaway. And you're like, oh, it's back down to 25. But then Zinger hits another 3. Yeah, 18 points in 11 minutes in that first half. Then there was a moment right at the end of that second quarter. The Mavs rip off this 7-0 little run. Just back in it a little bit, right? You're only down 20 points, 21 points at the half. 63-42. And they've realized, oh shit, defensively, we can't help off anyone because they can all shoot. This is what Josh Green kept getting cooked about. There was a big 3 later on. And you're like, oh yeah, Greeny, what are you? Oh, that was not good. So, yeah. Anyway, at the half, you're like, this doesn't bode well. But what we have seen is that no lead in the NBA playoffs is safe, especially when it's the Celtics or the Mavs, for that matter. And it was 66-38 a few minutes into the third. Luka, Gafford, and Kyrie had all gotten a bucket. Luka is drawing charges, having a little bit of a sook, annoying every single Celtics fan. Kyrie got a twisty layup. PJ Hamilton was in the paint. It was a 16-point game. Mavs get it to 14. It's 68-54 after a Luka bucket. He hits, I think they get another one going back the other way to the Celtics. Luka then smokes a 3. Kyrie gets another bucket after a turnover from Boston. It's an 11-point game. The Celtics can't buy a bucket. They're now 12 of 34 from downtown after being 10 of 24. I'm no math magician, but they've just gone 2 of 10. They were 1 of 7 from 3 in the third to that point. Luka hits a 3. Bang! It's an 8-point game. Watch out. Watch out. Here we are. We're on. It was a 29-9 run by the Mavericks, basically, at this point. Luka had outscored the Celtics by himself in the third quarter. It was 10-9. And incredibly, they only had 5 assists for the entire team at that point, with 4 minutes left in the third quarter compared to 16. And then, Giroux on Luka, just a little bit of pinch-hitting defense. You're like, we can switch this up. We can just switch some of the looks. Luka will sort of just figure it out. The problem was, Kyrie was playing like absolute dog shit. He was so bad. Absolutely so bloody bad. He didn't know what he was traveling. He was just throwing the ball to nobody. It was brutal. Zinger comes back on as a dunk. They're back up 11. It's 20 points for the Zinger. Tatum hits a 3. They're back up 16 because the Mavs have gone ice cold. The Celtics give up an open 3 to Luka. He misses. That's brutal. Al Horford goes back the other way, knocks in a 3 as well after a couple of misses. And it's an 11-0 run from Boston. They're back up 19. And that's actually basically the game. Jaylen Brown blocks the absolute shit out of Kyrie after blocking a Derrick Jones Jr. oop earlier. Then he smokes a 3. They're back up 22. Suddenly you've got Hardaway, Kleber, and Gafford all out there at the one time, and you're like, this is fucking horrible. And my entire point for this entire game for the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd was that they absolutely lost this game. The split second that Tim Hardaway the Lesser stepped on that floor instead of Dante Exum. The next time that Tim Hardaway plays defense, that'll be the first. Dante at least gives you a fucking vague two-way player who can do a little bit of something. He'll keep everybody accountable on defense. He'll at least try to hit a couple of threes. He's not going to be gunning for his own shot, whereas Tim Hardaway just completely breaks your offense. The Celtics, look, it's funny because they adjusted to the run by the Mavericks. No, they just started hitting their threes again. So it was back and forth, basically. Luka got it down to 17, misses a free throw. And the entire game basically hinges about 9.5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. He misses an open step-back 3. Would have had it down to 14. And like you then within pissing distance in the fourth quarter, you're feeling pretty good. Instead, Drew goes the other way, hits a shot. PJ misses a 3. They were 5 from 22 from downtown at that point, and that's cooked them. This one is over, basically. He misses that. At that point, the Celtics had more blocks than the Mavs had assists. It was a 21-point lead, 8 minutes to go. Dallas go to a zone. Tatum goes, that's cute. Hits a mid-ranger. Lively, he gets a dunk the other way. It's a 19-point game, but then Al Horford gets this basically a third chance putback. They're back up 21. Drew Holiday hits a 3. Josh Green, this is the one. This is the one where you don't help off the shooter in the corner. He gets absolutely cooked as Greeny. It's a 24-point game. Mavs can't hit a shot at all. They were forced away from the things that were working in the last series. Suddenly it's a shit ton more Maxi Kleber. And you're like, the Gafford Lively thing worked because they had Gobert on the floor. I figured at least Gafford and Lively would still be roughly able in terms of speed and quickness to try to get out to the likes of Zinger and Horford. Spoiler alert, they did not. 0 lobs. They hit fuck all threes and fucking sweet fuck all ball movement from Dallas. Made them look like dog shit. Kyrie could not hit a shot to save his life. Luka was basically a one-man army out there. It's like, it's a playoff career low 1 assist. You know how you get assists? When your teammates actually hit the fucking shots where you pass the ball to them. That did not happen today because the Mavs, it ends up basically, they pull the fucking pin with 4 minutes to go. They're down 25. They pull the starters. It's Hardy. Exum finally gets on the fucking court because Jason Kidd gets his head out of his ass. Greeny, Dwight Powell, and Hardaway. And you're like, ugh. Yeah, not great. So the Mavs, they lose at 89-107. They shoot 35 of 84. 7 of 27 from downtown. And 2 of those threes come very late from Hardy and from Greeny. So not ideal that they're basically, as I mentioned, 5 of 22 earlier on. Brutal gear. 12 of 19 from the free throw line as well. Like Luka missing those free throws earlier on, you're like, just a bit of a kick in the dick. The toughest one to read is the 9 assists to 23. It is brutal. 11 turnovers. Kyrie was horrible. He's the greatest ball handler we've ever seen. It's like, can he stop moving his fucking shoes that have got the mullet on them? Jesus. Anyway, so a tough one for the Mavs. They actually won the points in the paint battle, I think, which is pretty funny. So good job, I guess. But the thing was, Derrick Jones Jr. and Kyrie couldn't hit a shot in the paint between the two of them. So it was not ideal. Yeah, they won the points in the paint 46-38. Unfortunately, of course, the Mavs were plus 27 in threes because they went 16 of 42 versus 7 of 27. And you get that on the big job sometimes. So Luka ends up with a pretty handy stat line of 30, 10, and 1. The 1 assist is brutal. The 2 steals, 4 turnovers. He shot 12 of 26, 4 of 12 from 3. Only 2 of 5 at the line. Kyrie was the big disappointment. I've been here before. I'm the veteran now. I don't care about Boston, man. I'm just about my team. I'm about helping the boys win. then played like shit. 6 of 19, 0 of 5 from downtown, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a couple of steals. But more importantly to me was that he looked shook by the defense of the Celtics, right? He's like, hang on. I'm not playing against Mike Conley. This is fucking hard. Ugh. He's like, Drew Holiday's better than Mike Conley. This sucks. Derek White is the other dude I'm switching on to. And they're big dudes. Like the amount of times he had like a shot basically either half blocked, or changed midair. You're like, this is not like it was against Minnesota for Kyrie. Rough one. Even his threes just look completely gacked. 8 points, 3 rebounds for Gafford. Derek Jones Jr. goes 2 of 9, 5.6 rebounds. 14 and 8 for PJ Hamilton, Washington, but he went 0 of 3 from downtown, which is the heartbreaker. Outside of that, Jaden Hardy's 13 points all came late. Great. Good on him. 3 rebounds. He had 2 points for Derek Lively, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 0 blocks in 18 minutes. He was plagued by foul trouble. It was pretty smart of the Celtics to basically just say, oh, he's still a rookie. Let's target him a little bit. And they did. Maxi Kleber hit 1 shot. He was a minus 15 in 19 minutes. I don't think that worked, Jason Kidd. 1 of 1 from the floor, 0 rebounds. Hey, that's our backup big. Oh, gross. Anyway, brutal year for the Mavs, but it's the 7 of 27 from downtown that's probably the backbreaker, right? If you're going to get 1 of 2 from Derek Jones Jr., 0 of 5 from Kyrie, and 0 of 3 from PJ, whereas the Celtics have 7 players hitting multiple threes, you have 1. Yeah, you're probably going to lose that game. And they did! So the Celtics, extreme zinger meal.
Extreme zinger meal.
20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, 1 turnover, 8 of 13 shooting, 2 of 4 from downtown in 21 minutes. Not a bad return from the Latvian gangbanger. You'll love to see that. Jason Tatum finishes with 16, 11, and 5. He shot 6 of 16, 3 of 7 from 3. Got going a little bit later. 6 turnovers. He had a pretty rough one. 22, 6, and 2 with 3 steals and 3 blocks for Jaylen Brown, though. He was absolutely amazing. 2 of 6 from deep, 7 of 12 from downtown. 7 of 12 from the floor. To the point where you're like, hey, Jaylen Brown. Oh, geez. How's those MVP odds looking all of a sudden? 15 and 5 for Derek White. He hit 3-8 from 3. Above average Al Horford, 10.7 rebounds, 3 assists for him. 2 blocks as well, 2 of 5 from deep. Drew Holiday, 12, 8, and 5, 2 of 5 from 3 as well. Sam Hauser hits a couple of threes. He has 8 and 4. 20.6 rebounds for Zinger, though, is like the biggest difference in this entire game. Because Peyton Pritchard couldn't hit a shot. He went 0 of 5 from 3 and 0 of 7 from downtown. Hashtag spoiler alert. He's going to give Kyrie a run for his money in the old spud of the night. And that was about all she wrote. 16 of 42 from downtown in the end. Not bloody bad. 13 and 19 at the free throw line. 12 turnovers, still a little bit loose here and there with the Celtics. But look, when you're knocking in every shot because you're just completely discombobulating the Dallas defense, and when the threes start dropping again, you just basically reassert your dominance, it's pretty fucking hard to lose that game. So Boston, they go up 1-0 in this series. Oh boy. Going to be an interesting game too. Let's do an NBA Straya approved performance of the night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That is a knife. First half, extreme zinger meal, Kristaps Porzingis.
Extreme zinger meal.
And then second half, Jaylen Brown, because the game turns on 2 points. When Zinger comes out absolutely en fuego, he's basically spicier than any sort of goulash you're getting there in Latvia. He goes absolutely fucking ham. Breaks apart this Dallas team. Like, as soon as you blink and you're down 18, it's a fucking hard road to get back from that. And I always say on NBA Straya, never trust anyone who says, I always say, because they're full of shit and up themselves. But one of the biggest points we keep returning to on NBA Straya is when you're down big, it's really, really, really hard to make it all the way back from a huge deficit to get it even tied up, let alone to get over the hump and get the lead again without gacking it back up. Like, it's just really hard to have that source of energy that you just keep riding that momentum. And the Zinger took all momentum away from Dallas early. They were feeling themselves a little bit. Luka was like, oh, hang on a second. Look at this. I'm feeling svelte. It was weird that he looks svelte as well, right? It's not just me. Anyway, and Zinger just goes, yeah, it's very cute, but also me hit the million buckets. Check it out. The bang. And completely took the game away from the Dallas Mavericks right away. And it's so demoralizing. It's like, yeah, Jason Kidd gives like the halftime speech. He's like, hey guys, just have fun out there. I'm like, hey, Jason Kidd, how about you make some actual adjustments like, I don't know, playing Dante fucking Exum instead of the adjustment being, have fun out there, boys. God damn it, you spud. Anyway, so the first half hinges obviously on Zinger's game. Then the second half completely hinges on Jaylen Brown stopping that Mavs run dead in the fucking water with that 3 that he hits. He has the block. Well, he has 2 blocks, but the Kyrie block and just shit like that, you're like, oh, mate. That turned the game again. Like, there was a moment there where it was looking very, very squirrely, and Jaylen Brown goes, all right, boys, not on my watch. Check this out. And so, again, as soon as you can blink, it's like, what, an 8-point game, and then boom, it's back out to a 19-point game. So, Jaylen Brown, it's essentially, he has the dunk about, like pretty early on in that game, and you're like, that was a sick dunk. Is Jaylen Brown going to have more of an impact than just having a sick dunk where he like sighs through a bunch of dudes? Is he going to be able to do it? Is he? Can he? Will he? Yes. And it sort of gets towards the end of that third quarter where he gets a couple of free throws and he's just out there causing all sorts of havoc. He gets the pass over to Al Horford off the thing, and then he hits his own 3. They're back up 22 basically to end that quarter. He stops the run dead on both ends of the floor. It was amazing gear from Jaylen Brown. And his entire game basically means that he's the NBA Straya Pro Performer of the Night, because Zinger, first half, incredible. And then Jaylen Brown brings him home. And Zinger basically has like the little capper there in that second half. And away they go. So we'll split that. What is it? 3 votes, K. Porzingis, 3 votes, Jay Brown. Who was Spud of the night, though, Jim? Who do you reckon?
Spud. It is Spud of the night.
Yeah, Spud of the night. That'd be Kyrie Irving. I don't know, better burn some more fucking sage or figure out what he's doing with his shoes, because that was a horrible game from Kyrie Irving. Hey, guys, I've been here before, man. I'm not worried about any of the pressure. Well, if you're not worried about any of the pressure, how about you hit some bloody shots, you idiot? 6 of 19 from the floor, 0 of 5 from downtown, and the most annoying aspect of all of this, Kyrie Irving, 0 free throws. What a surprise twist that is. Because Kyrie, look, in terms of the free throws, he at least in that Minnesota series didn't have a game where he didn't take, 0 free throws. He had 6, 5, 8, 3, and 4. He had a couple in the OKC series when he was playing like dog shit, and that's kind of the thing. If you take away his drives, if you make him work at the rim as opposed to sort of be able to throw in his weird little things and get to the foul line every so often just to steady himself, you can fuck him up. That's the entire secret to fucking up Kyrie Irving. Don't let him get to the free throw line. It throws him off his game. Boom. It's what OKC did really, really well. That's why that series was so bloody close. It's also why Boston probably won today. And also, honorable mention, Peyton Pritchard going 0 of 7 in a game that you win by 18 points. He played 16 minutes, 0 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3, and he was still a +4. Great job there, Peyton Pritchard, with your weird little dinosaur T-Rex arms. Love that. But who was old mate? No mates.
Old mate, 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 no mates.
Who's got no mates today? That would again be Kyrie Irving. Oh man, Kyrie sucks. Kyrie sucks. The Celtics fans didn't disappoint. They were loud. They were vociferous. They probably could have been louder. It was kind of weird that they weren't. But at the same time, you're like, it's pretty funny. Get them, Boston fans. And they went after Kyrie pretty bloody hard. Old mate, no mates as well. Probably Jason Kidd. Because, I don't know, that's also a bit of the combination spud of the night. But when you're coaching adjustments at halftime, like, hey boys, just go out there and have fun. Jason Kidd, it's not fucking Saturday morning Oz kick. What are you doing? Like, they are allowed to tackle in this game, right? Go out there and have fun. How much is he being? I could do that. Hey, boys, go out there and have fun. So, okay, Jim, we'll do that. So, all right, good. Get him. Also, Kyrie, can you hit a fucking shot, mate? He's like, I'll try. I don't know. It's like Kyrie remembered the ball's a fucking sphere all of a sudden and went, oh, God, now I'm thinking. Shit. And the best part about when spuds like Kyrie sort of have like, or an old mate, no mates moment, right? When Kyrie has like this sort of teetering on the edge moment, hostile environment there in Boston, everyone's chanting Kyrie sucks. He can't fucking buy a bucket. His coach is out there saying, just go out and have fun. I'm fascinated to see what he does in game 2. Like, does he fucking completely go off the deep end or does he drop 40? I'll probably lean the second half, but jeez. Pantsing of the night. Poor one out for our beloved Josh Green. That was an amazing block by the Extreme Zinger meal. It was supercharged.
Supercharged Zinger Burger.
It really was. That was an incredible block. Josh Green sort of like screws up his timing. Well, tries to figure out his timing for a sick dunk on the breakaway. And it gives Zinger just enough time to sort of time it out. Like Greeny sort of goes, oh, I need to get my steps right in order to dunk this ball. And Zinger goes, aha, I can match his pace. And whoopang! The Latvian gangbanger sends that ball into fucking orbit. And our beloved Josh Greeny, Scott Green, is posterized for life. That's a brutal pantsing. Like, this is on the biggest stage literally in the NBA. You got blocked by a bloke who hasn't played for a month and a bit. This is all-time shit. Pour one out for our beloved Josh Green.
This is horrible. There's no other way to put it.
There is no other way to put it. It broke my heart. Who was better than Lonzo Ball, though?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. I mean, Derek White's always the answer to this because he had 15, 2, and 5 with a steal, 5-11 from the floor, 3 of 8 from downtown. Awesome game. I love me some Derek White. You know that. He was bloody great. But also, Jaden Hardy. Like, Jaden Hardy's got to be sitting there going, hey, do you know who's got 13 more points, 3 more rebounds, and 1 more assist than Lonzo Ball does in his playoffs? But I've got them in the NBA Finals. It's me, Jaden Hardy. And Lonzo Ball's like, God damn it. Hardy did that at 11 minutes as well. And I think, look, my biggest point is Dante Exum has now played an NBA Finals game. He played 5 minutes. That's awesome. 0 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Greeny, 3 points, hits at 3 late. Missed a shot. Greeny had a horrible push shot as his first shot in the NBA Finals. It was just absolutely alligator-armed it. The 3 that he hit later was a bit nicer, and he obviously gacked up the dunk where Zinger blocked the shit out of it. Bit of a tough one for the Aussies today, but still better than Lonzo Ball because at least they're bloody there. All right, who is Dickhead of the Week?
Dickhead of the Week.
I probably Shams and the JJ Redick thing, right? Like, it's pretty funny, pretty weird, pretty gross how it's like, oh yeah, they're infatuated with him. They're infatuated with him, man. As I said the other day, it's like, is he a 14-year-old girl or is he a journalist, apparently? It turns out more of a 14-year-old girl because he got it completely bloody wrong. Anyway, the Dickhead of the Week, you could probably go Shams, but the Legend of the Week, which I'm really happy they made a big deal about on the broadcast, was that Doris Burke became the first woman to serve as a TV analyst for any of the major sports in their finals, right? In a professional championship event. So it was very, very cool that she was on the call. It's even cooler that Joel Embiid wasn't playing because, oh boy, when Embiid is playing and Doris is on the call, it is very, very, very tough. But she was fucking fantastic. Her, JJ, and Mike Breen, really good first finals outing. I enjoyed it a lot, especially when it was a blowout for a lot of it. Mike Breen is always just all-time professional, even when it's a blowout. Crushed it. Doris was good. JJ was good. And away we go. Fun times. Great job, Doris. Love that she was the first woman to become the first ever sort of TV analyst for a title game. So, very cool. But finally, everybody's favorite. It's time for the Magic Tweet of the Week. I heard the great news that Lakers owner Jeannie Buss and GM/VP of basketball operations Rob Pelinka have had conversations with back-to-back NCAA champion and current UConn head coach Dan Hurley about becoming the next Lakers head coach. I'm so excited and thrilled! ! This would be a game changer for the Lakers organization, LeBron, AD, the rest of the Laker players, Laker Nation, and the NBA. Coach Hurley can coach his butt off, lol. What do we say? Language magic. He said butt. I love this, but anyway, we also had some good ones. Let's do it. The Celtics defense smothered the Mavs and completely took them out of the game. Like I said earlier this week, the Celtics might have more depth and firepower than the Mavs, and it was on full display tonight. What do we say? Thanks, Magic. Kristaps Porzingis was the key to the Celtics' win tonight. He ignited their offense, scoring 10 points off the bench in the first quarter and finishing out the game with 20. 5 other Celtics followed his lead. Brown, 22 points. Tatum, 16 points. White, 15 points. Holiday, 12 points. And Horford, 10 points. What do we say? Thanks, Magic. Love that. All right, let's do some NBA Straya. Yeah, Nas, right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
and you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Let's do some Yanars brought to you by the NBA Straya shop.
People,
get your merch, get your merch.
Wear it.
Get your merch, get your merch. Get your merch, get your merch.
Yeah, do it for your NBA Finals experience. Get an NBA Straya t-shirt, hoodie, stubby holder, coffee mug. Go to nbastraya.com/shop or just click through on the socials. All the pretty pictures are there and away you go. Help your mate Jim out. Oh, and those after a dog update. He's still all right. He's gone blind. The diabetes has caused all sorts of havoc with him. He's cleared up a bunch of his other stuff, so shit ton of vet visits in the last couple of weeks, but he's doing all right. He's just, his ears and eyes and gear have just been all sort of screwy, but his skin is he's had a lot of diabetes-related skin problems and all that sort of crap. But yeah, the blindness thing is a bit tough, but he's slowly sort of figuring it out, and yeah, it's fucking heartbreaking, though, isn't it? Anyway, he's all right. Hey, let's do some yeah-nahs on a better note. Hey, can the Mavs still win the series? Yeah, nah, yes, of course. They haven't lost an NBA Finals series when they've lost the first game. Ever. Not once. So, that's fine. I.e., they lost in 2011, but they won in 2006, so good job. They also got killed in Game 1 in OKC, and it's like, oh, God, this series is over. And they turn around and fucking smashed them. So, what they're probably most thankful for is like the 2-day break in between, right? So today's Friday. We don't have a game Saturday or Sunday. We are back on Monday morning with the next NBA Finals game, Game 2. And it sort of gives you 2 days to really dig into what you're doing and how you do it and going, hey, should we be playing Dante Exum? And Jason Kidd going, oh, yeah, maybe. Oh, geez, I'll tell you what. But at least gives them a really good sort of lead into making some adjustments for Game 2. And essentially just going, how do we let Kyrie get a little bit more space? How can he succeed more? What do we do on defense when they're playing the 5-out team and we're getting absolutely smashed by a giant 7'20" Latvian? So, a bit of a tough one. Timmy, over there on Twitter, Exum stopped doing what worked for him in the regular season and played too conservative in the earlier series. He needs to be aggressive to win his spot back. Yeah, nah. Yeah, this is a really, really, really good point by Timmy. Because if you think about the way Exum was going in the regular season, he's like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm shooting. I'm going to play really hard-nosed defense. And then every time he sort of got out there in the playoffs, he would sort of turtle head just a little bit. He's like, oh, God, is Coach Kidd going to fucking pull me if I miss this shot? And that's something we've actually kind of seen from Dante a little bit here and there with the Boomers. And when he gets over that, he's a fucking weapon. And he's literally done that for the Boomers in World Cups, Olympic runs, etc., where he's like, oh, if I'm just fucking super aggressive as soon as I touch the hardwood, I'm good. So he just needs to do that again, and then he'll be fucking... Like, to be honest, he is a really interesting X factor that they should be utilizing way more. You can't play fucking Tim Hardaway Jr. in an NBA Finals. As I've said, right, before, like time and time again, the idea of PJ Hamilton, Washington, and Tim Hardaway the lesser... Like, one of them's going to have a shit show of a game, and you hope that the other one balances the other one out. I'm just like, take fucking Hardaway the lesser out of the equation, roll with what PJ gets you, and Dante on both ends of the floor can actually be wildly effective, especially against this Celtics team that relies so heavily on those two guards but he can also play up a size and actually, sort of stay in front of the likes of Brown and co. So give me some more Dante. Hey, is Jaylen Brown now the best look for finals MVP after that game? Yeah, nah. It's an interesting one because he played his ass off. He was so good in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is the exact sort of game that he needed to keep riding, right? Off the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. If he wants to win Finals MVP, he needed to do this. The thing is, if Tatum just has like 3 awesome games in the next 3 games, it's his to lose. So it would be fascinating, though, if, like, depending on how far the Mavs push this Celtics team. Like, Luka's numbers are already absurd, so we'll see what happens. Is Zinger an interesting look for the most threes now, Jim? Yeah, nah, I still like D-White. I think he sort of got his eye in a little bit, but Luka hit 4. D-White hit 3. Zinger hit the 2. So, I don't know. Luka versus D-White still for the most threes in this series for me. But my favorite one, Paul Arnie wrote in. I love Paul Arnie. Big legend, Paul Arnie. Hey, legend, happy NBA Finals Day. As always, appreciate the podcast, especially now you're a podcasting media mogul. And keep this beautiful thing going. Oh, thanks, mate. Couple of yeah-nahs for you. Your mate, Adam Silver, allowed Lakers, Suns, and Warriors to all bow out of the finals early so their veterans would be ready for the Paris Olympics. Yeah, nah. Oh, I like that. He's like, we need to make sure that we beat everybody and everybody's rested. LeBron, Steph, KD, you all need to sacrifice this year for the greater good. And away they go. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to say yeah. I like that a lot. Especially considering he tried to knock out, Patty and Jingles as early as possible. Remember that Orlando were in the playoffs? God damn. Feels about 1 million years ago at this point. Paul Arnie's other one. If the Slovenian Andrew Gaze keeps sooking like he does, he'll be put into the same category as LeBron. An awesome basketballer, awesome achievements, but very few people actually like him. Yeah, nah. That's a good one. I think LeBron is a fascinating case because prior to the decision, like the LeBron likability meter was still probably through the roof because he was still with Cleveland. He makes the decision. He makes it about himself. He goes to Miami to, not 2, not 3, not 4. And that's when people turn. He turns into the villain. He goes back to Cleveland. He wins the title there. If he had have stayed in Cleveland, people would be like, we fucking love LeBron James. That's great. Awesome. He's got his 3 titles. He went to Miami. That was a weird blip. But then he makes the decision to go, fuck that. I'm going to LA. And people go, ugh, sure. Like, just think about it from the meta position of like, who would have given more of a fuck about LeBron breaking the all-time scoring points record and all this sort of shit if he had played at home if he had played at home for them? The Cleveland fans or the Lakers fans? Very fucking clearly, the Cleveland fans would have gone off tits. It would have been awesome. Lakers fans like, who's this guy again? Oh, the guy we don't like as much as Kobe. Radical. So LeBron sort of did this to himself. Luka is almost sort of like getting to a point where he'll probably stay with the Mavs for a substantially long amount of time. You get that. He'll probably hit more of a Joel Embiid point where it's like, right. The sooking, the antics, love him or hate him, right? And I think that'll be kind of how it balances out. And but Luka's achievements will probably outweigh what Joel Embiid might end up doing unless Embiid like goes to the Knicks or something this summer. Just saying. But yeah, I think the antics, he's put a bit of a cap on them and the back half of the Western Conference Finals. He wasn't too bad today. Celtics fans are going to fucking scream black and blue that he's still a fucking sook and a flopper, but I don't know. It was still kind of fun today, I thought. Right. Good ones. Thank you, Paul Arnie. And remember, send any other yeah-nahs in through the socials. Just DM me and away we go. I'll chuck them in the show. Go nuts, mates. Go nuts. How about an NBA Straya proven unpopular opinion of the day?
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
If Boston lose from here, it's the biggest choke job in NBA history. And they'd also be one of the least likable or least beloved NBA champions of all time. Right? Maybe. So I was working on this one yesterday, talking about what does Tatum mean to anybody. It's like very little. Jaylen Brown. But if Kristaps Porzingis keeps this up, it's actually a fucking really cool story. And it makes this Boston team way more fun. Like, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Cool. They all seem like very solid, nice dudes. But who fucking cares? The Zinger is a bit of a lunatic. I'm kind of here for it. If he becomes a really big part of them just winning this title, it becomes a way more fun sort of like look back story thinking about this. So, yeah. But if they do lose from here, it's the biggest choke job in NBA history. Just saying. What about Outback Takehouse? It's Friday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh, yeah, 4-for-1 TGIF oil drum cans full of icy cold Foster's Lager. That's right, it's Australian for beer, and definitely not Australian for who the fuck drinks that horse piss. And it's 4-for-1, only at Outback. Goes great with the flame grilled take. And today's flame grilled take is the entire reason JJ Redick is not the Lakers head coach is because he wants to be the first coach of the Vegas team in 3 years when LeBron buys it. That's right. JJ Redick was like, this is cool, but if I take over a Lakers team that LeBron will eventually retire from, I'm on a fucking hiding to nothing, and in 2 to 3 years' time when I'm even more of a superstar because of the media, I'll be able to name my fucking price. Only at Outback. I'm just saying, like, this is what I sort of threw out on Wednesday's show, where what would the upside be for JJ Redick to take that Lakers head coaching job? He's like, oh, it's my best mate LeBron got me a job. Great. He's gone in like a year or two. You're left holding the fucking basket with an old-ass AD and Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves, and you're like, oh, this sucks. What would you rather do? Start from fucking scratch in Vegas as a new first-time head coach, or take over a Lakers franchise that's clearly on the downslide? I'll take the Vegas franchise, please. And at the same time, also, that was an Adam Silver thing today that he said, we're looking at expansion after the media rights deal, and it's like, let's fucking go. Bring back my beloved fucking Seattle Supersonics. Do it. Do it now. Anyway. Other Outback Takehouse, the Mavs threw that game to get in Boston's head because they know that they're mentally weak and will crack completely if they lose game 2 at home. Ooh, don't mind that. Don't mind that. All right, really quick Australian player watch after we hear from Hammer.
This is Shane Heal, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. NBA Finals, Australian player watch. The first time we've been able to do this since 2019 when Bogey was out there for the Warriors. Love this. Josh Green and Green, game 1, 20 minutes. Only 3 points, and that was a late three-pointer that he hit too. 1 of 4 from the floor. 3 rebounds, though. -5 in a game that they were down by a lot. So he had a little bit to do with the fight back. You'd love to see that from Greeny, but also he was out there during junk time when they did eat into that lead a bit. And Dante Exum, Kangaroo Kobe, played 5 minutes towards the end of that game. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. But in a game that the Dallas Mavericks lost by 18, in 5 minutes, Dante Exum, a.k.a. Kangaroo Kobe, was +7. Get him out there, J-Kid, you idiot. You're breaking my heart. Anyway, Andrew Gay's Graham Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Once I remember where the button is. Good job, Jim. Oh, he's completely cooked it. There it is. Let's go. Andrew Gay's Grey Mamba.
Outstanding achievement in
Let's do it. This is a good one. A bit of outstanding achievements in the field of excellence because the largest grand final, the largest game 1 finals win in the last 30 years. You had 25 points by the Lakers in 2009. You had the Warriors in 2017 by 22, and you had the Celtics by 18 tonight. So those are the 3 biggest game 1 of the NBA finals wins in the last 30 years. The Lakers and the Warriors went on to win those series in 5. Bodes well if you're a Celtics fan, I'll tell you that much. So does this one, the Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award.
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed? Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shooters Shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award. That one's also pretty easy because the Celtics just became the first team in NBA Finals history to have 7 players make multiple threes. Yeah, not bad, eh? So Jason Tatum goes 3 of 7. Average Al Horford, he was above average Al Horford. He was 2 of 5. So was Drew Holiday. Derek White goes 3 of 8. 2 of 6 for Jaylen Brown. 2 of 2 for Sam Hauser. And 2 of 4 for the Extreme Zinger Meal. If Peyton Pritchard hadn't gone 0 of 5, just imagine, they would have been the first team to have 8 players go 2 for. Pretty good. And then finally, a great moment in NBA Straya stat history.
Great moments in NBA Straya stat history.
There you go. Let's do it. How about Luke Longley's Game 1 of the NBA Finals back in 1996 against my beloved Seattle Supersonics? That's right. A fascinating game this was. Luke Longley had an awesome Game 1 in this series. He played 26 minutes. He had 14 points, 4 blocks, 1 rebound, and 1 assist. That is, I don't know about you, but pretty bloody good. And probably, obviously, one of the better Game 1s we've had of an Aussie in the NBA Finals. So, Big Lucian goes out there, crushes it, and does a bloody good job. They win that game by 17 as well, do the Bulls. You might remember that one back in 1996, beating the Sonics. It was matched up against, Irvin Not-So-Magic Johnson and old-ass Sam Perkins. So you'd hope that he'd tear him apart in his 26 minutes. He shot 5 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the free throw line as well. Did Big Lucian, but that is a great moment in NBA Straya stat history because he then went on to win the first NBA title by an Aussie. Great job, Luke Longley. Love your guts, mate. All right, let's do a Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. Oh, geez. Oh, Paddy, what are you doing now? Don't get me fired. Oh, God, he's trying to get me fired. That's a picture of him and the missus. And the missus... It appears to be the Bad Boys premiere, which is very cool. She is wearing a substantially revealing outfit. I mean, at the same time, she's a smoke show. Good on you, Paddy. They're also shooting some commercial, it looks like, for the cool shoes. The time has come. LSKD times bowler pad is nearly here. Let's go. That's awesome. Love that, Paddy. Looking great. There's also the really cool shots that we're getting of like Daly and Jock Landale and co, Dyson Daniels all hanging out, practicing ahead of the Olympics. I know about you, but I'm bloody stoked. All right, let's do a game preview for Game 2 on Monday morning. Game preview. Game preview. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, mate, I'm just happy to have basketball back, to be honest. That was awesome today. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Did a quick little live video just beforehand. We had the drop-off playoff picks this morning as well. We'll do that again on Monday as well. For the moment, though, so we had the Mavs plus 6.5 in this one. That obviously did not win. So, tough one. I did like the over 14.5 for Derek White, so at least that one hit. Happy days there. He hit 3 threes. Love that too. For Game 2 on Monday, though, how do we read this game after what we saw? They've got 2 days in between. Can Dallas adjust? I think they can. I'm taking Dallas plus 7.5. The line has gone up by 1. Why is this? Well, remember, Dallas are still the best team in the NBA on the road against the line. And you go back through each of their playoff series, and the way that the Mavs kind of went about their business, these pretty crazy playoffs, right? They won Game 2 they won the first 2 games, obviously, in Minnesota. So the road did not scare them, obviously, in Minnesota. They lost Game 1 pretty badly against OKC and then smoked them in a really, really fun Game 2, 119-110. They did the exact same thing to the Clippers. They lose 109-197 in the Game 1 and then come out and beat them 96-93 in Game 2. And the series sort of turned from there. More importantly, I'm not convinced Kyrie has 2 shit games in a row. Because he was like disastrously bad today. Like, I do quite literally Spud of the night, and I probably could have laid the boot into Kyrie even more. It was a horrible game. 6 of 19, 12 points. I don't know, is 12 points on 19 shots good or bad? I'm probably going to say bad. But he's had a couple of these games throughout the playoffs, right? And he sort of, the only time he ripped off 2 of them back-to-back were in games 5 and 4 against the OKC. thunders. Every other time he's had like a bad game, he's bounced back and had a pretty bloody decent one. So I think that the numbers and the bodies that they can throw at Kyrie with that sort of back line of defense from either Horford or Zinger and the size of the rim makes it really fucking hard for him to do his thing. But he's so goddamn talented that he's not likely to go 0 of 5 from downtown one more time. He gets that 3 to drop. He gets a couple of free throws under his belt. I think Kyrie has a bit of a bounce back. I'd probably go his over points total. It'd probably sit around the 20 mark at this point after today's outing. But more importantly, I think what you saw from Boston is that the way that Luka can orchestrate this team and sort of still get his shot no matter what defense you're throwing at him is fucking terrifying. So if Kyrie gets going a little bit and if they get just a little bit of something on the 3-point shooting from the rest of the Mavs, then it's going to get pretty hairy pretty quickly, and I think they can definitely stick with Boston. We know Boston's like traditional Game 2 woes where they've blown out a team in Game 1 and then shit the bed in Game 2 because they're the Boston Celtics. It's the funny way they go about things. It just is. Because it didn't happen in the Pacers series, but it happened in the Cavs series where they kicked the fuck out of them in Game 1. They lose Game 2. Happened to them against the Heat. 114-94, turn around, boom, they lose by 10 in Game 2. I'm going to take Dallas plus 7.5. I think Luka, the assists, I think there'll be a big focus on moving the ball, finding the corner man. I think their defense will adjust a little bit better. They probably key in on Zinger a little bit more and maybe has a little bit of a downturn after a pretty awesome Game 1, obviously. What I'm more fascinated in is seeing how Jason Tatum responds after a pretty quiet night where he played a really good game despite shooting 6 of 16. He was really effective like most of the time. He had the 6 turnovers. It didn't sort of seem to... He still had a really good sense of control in that game. And I'd be really interested to see how he goes in Game 2. If he's like, all right, boys, I played really good in Game 1. Now check this one out today. I'm going to dominate and we're going to be awesome. And the Mavs might go, that's cool, Jason Tatum. You do you. If we make sure that like Zinger and Jaylen Brown and Derek White aren't killing us, we can stick in this game. And I think that's what's going to happen. So I think Luka still has a pretty good game. I expect a bigger and way better Kyrie game. I expect a big Tatum game. Bit of a downturn maybe from Zinger. If they get some more stuff out of Derek White, though, Boston might probably still win this game. I just expect Dallas to make it a lot closer. So I think they'll put the fear of God into them. The big problem I have is trying to figure out that big man rotation for Dallas. I think they might even just pull the fucking pin and go, Gafford, back to the bench. Lively, you start. You're a bit quicker. You can move the ball in the paint a little bit more. You can find our shooters. And that's sort of like the big thing. They need that ball movement back. They need that ball singing. It's really hard to do against Boston. They've got hands everywhere. But I'm still going to take Dallas plus 7.5 against the Celtics at the moment. We'll see how we go. It should be an absolutely cracking Game 2, and I cannot bloody wait. What an awesome, awesome day. It's the NBA Finals. We're back. That's awesome. We'll also be back on Monday with the next NBA Straya. So this is the Game 2 preview show as well. We'll be back on Monday to wrap up Game 2. I am also doing an AFL Today live stream on Monday for the Kings birthday clash. If you like your Aussie rules footy, check it out. AFL Today on the socials. So I'm going to do NBA Straya just before that, go straight into the live stream and then go straight into an AFL Today. I don't think I'll have any voice left after all that. Should be fun. Oh, geez. Anyway, so we'll be back on deck on Monday with NBA Straya, then some AFL Today live stream. So check all that out. It'd be really, really fun. Get around NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, putting up all the drop-off playoff picks. There we go. Got it up on all of those as well every morning before the games. Get around the AFL Today show, as I mentioned. That is a really, really fun AFL show that I host. The AFL Supercoach show as well. What else? Cricket Today podcast, Football Today podcast for your cricket and soccer. Hold all tickets for your GGs. NFL Australia with myself and Gaz. That's, on ice at the moment until the next NFL season. But still, chuck us a rating review on your podcast apps, whatever it is. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using, the Android phone. Go nuts, rate, review, star, subscribe. Just grab your mum's phone and subscribe. Grab a mate's phone, subscribe. Grab your missus's phone, subscribe. She's like, why am I subscribed to NBA Straya? It's like, because Jim told me to. And I'll deal with the wrath. Go on, I dare you. Help a brother out, come on. Get around NBAstraya.com/shop, get your merch. And a big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out their new band House Hatch, as well as Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section, Green, and Dozers for all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. Remember, NBA Straya supports Australian bands, so should you. All right, we'll close out with a classic Cooking with Baynesy for you today. That'll be pretty fun. And we will catch you on Monday to wrap up Game 2 of the NBA Finals, you dickheads. We might even pop up for a quick little live video before that, as well as the playoff drop-off picks. Either way, we'll see you then. It's NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you? Have a good weekend, and later, Hosanna!
Cooking with Baynesy is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And now it's time for Cooking with Baynesy with your host, Aaron Bangers Baines. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, look at you over there. Oh, yes. I see you over there, Cheryl. You're here every week. Oh, love you too. Oh, I love you too, hon. Yes, look at you. Oh, this is great. Oh, come on. Oh, settle down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for that. That's Ripper. All right, g'day. Welcome to Cooking with Baynesy, and I'm your host, Aaron Bangers Baines. That's it. Cooking with Baynesy. I love this. And in this here episode, we are going to whip you up one of my absolute favourite Australian classics that you can have whenever. You can have it for brekkie. You can have it for lunch. You can have it for tea. It is that absolute modern Australian classic. It's avocado toast. Oh, yes. That's right. It's an absolute Aussie classic now, mate. And after I got this recipe from my little mate Deli, I love me some avo toast. And, maybe not as much as my mate Deli, you know what I mean? But anyway, it's easy as, mate. I punch through enough of this that it definitely helps me keep up this physique, you know what I mean? Every brekkie I'm on this train, so I reckon you better jump on board. All right, so it is bloody simple, mate. All you gotta do is go down to your soupy and just grab a loaf of whatever bread you like to toast up. Me, I like a bit of multigrain. I like a little bit more crunch in my toast. Just like the screens I set for the Celtics, a bit of crunch is what I like. Then I grab a ripe old avo, grab a lemon on your way out, and away we go. All right, now, and this is very important. A lot of people try to do fancy shit to avo toast. And look, you can if you really, really want to get all fancy-pantsy. You can put some goat's cheese on there. You can put some tomatoes in there. You can put a bit of red onion if you feel like it. Sprinkle some of that bullshit ducker, which I think is just fucking crumbs or whatever the fuck shit it is. But anyway, all you actually need to do is keep it simple as, mate. Toast, avo, bit of lemon. So it's simple. Fang your bread in the toaster. Then sit back, crack a tin, and let it all get nice and browned up. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is either. When you're cracking a tin and cooking with Baynesy, it's always time for a tin. So, now, slice up your avo, dump it into a bowl, scoop it out. Yep, there you go. Scoop her out into a bowl. Now, mush that bastard up into a paste. Just mush her up. There you go. Just mush her up. Fuck it. There you go. Yep. Now, once that's done, it's all mushed up, all nice. Get your knife. Now, your toast is done. She's popped up. Get your toast out. Now, slather that avo all over your toast about, you go 1 to 2 inches thick, I reckon. That's how I usually go, eh? Absolute, just smother it in avo. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. Then drizzle a bit of lemon on top, and away we go. Just bloody well. Look at that. Put a bit of salt and pepper on top, and all you have to do then, get your bloody munch on. Oh, how good is that? It is an absolute bloody ripper of a treat. The best bit is it's good for any time of day. Brekkie, avo toast. lunch, avo toast. 2, avo toast. It's just bloody delicious, mate. And look, of course, you got to make sure you get your avos when they're in season, or else you'll never be able to afford a bloody house. All right, how easy was that? Thanks to my little mate Deli for the recipe, and I hope yous all enjoy it too. All right, avo toast. Legendary. All right, tune in next week for a brand new recipe, and we'll see yous then on the next episode of Cooking with Baynesy.